Section 1. 10. A distant messenger. Far from us, a small machine drifts through the interstellar dark. It is an old machine, a testament to human ingenuity and curiosity. Its name is Voyager 1. It departed from our world in the year 1977, a time of different dreams and different technologies. It soared past the great gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, using their immense gravity to slingshot itself towards the unknown. Now it sails in the cold, quiet ocean beyond the sun's furthest reach, the heliosphere. It is, by a considerable margin, the most distant object humanity has ever sent from home, a tiny emissary in the cosmic wilderness. It still speaks to us, its voice a faint whisper across an unimaginable gulf of space and time. Before it journeyed into that final darkness, it performed one last poignant act. At the request of the astronomer Carl Sagan, it turned its camera around and took a final photograph of the solar system it was leaving behind forever. In that remarkable family portrait of planets, our own world appeared as a minuscule point of light, almost lost in a scattered sunbeam. This image is known as the pale blue dot. It is more than just a picture. It is a profound message sent back to its creators. It is a quiet, powerful warning, a cosmic perspective that speaks directly to our condition. It says with undeniable clarity, look at how small you are. Be careful with what you have. Be kind to one another. That single pixel of light contains everything we have ever known, every person you have ever loved. Section 2. 9. The long journey home. Think back to the moment of its departure, a brilliant column of fire, a majestic white tower of smoke ascending against a blue Florida sky. It was a leap from the familiar shore of our world into the boundless ocean of space. It was a long, arduous climb from the warmth and gravity of Earth into the unending cold of the void. Voyager 1 carried with it a suite of scientific instruments, cameras to see and sensors to hear the symphony of the planets. It also carried a golden record, a time capsule of sight and sound intended for any civilization that might one day find it. It is a message in a bottle cast into the cosmic sea. The golden record holds music from across our world, Chuck Berry. It holds greetings spoken in 55 different human languages. It holds the sounds of our planet. Wind, rain, whale song, the cry of a newborn baby. It holds a map showing our location in the galaxy and a message of hope from the people of Earth. It says we were here. It says we reached for the stars. It says we hoped for a future where we might meet others. Section 3. 8. A whisper across the void. The image did not arrive instantly. It traveled to us slowly as a stream of digital bits across the solar system. Space is incomprehensibly huge, and its dominant quality is a profound and pervasive quiet. The signals from Voyager 1 carried the pale blue dot data, moving at the speed of light. Even at nearly 300,000 kilometers per second, the message took hours to cross back to Earth. A giant radio dish, a sensitive ear to the heavens, listened for the faint whisper. The signal was astonishingly weak. By the time it reached Earth, Voyager's transmission was billions of times weaker than a watch battery. A whisper lost in cosmic static, the background hiss of the universe. Sophisticated technology and brilliant minds plucked the signal from the noise, amplified it, reconstructed it. At NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the control room waited. Line by line, pixel by pixel, the image was painstakingly assembled, and then there it was, Earth.
Section 4. 7. The gentle warning. So, what exactly is the warning contained within this image? It is crucial to understand that it is not a shout of alarm. It is not an omen of impending doom or a source of fear. It is something far more subtle and ultimately more powerful. It is like a calm, steady hand placed gently upon your shoulder. It is a quiet voice that says, "We live on a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Look closely at that picture. In that entire frame there is no second Earth. There is no backup planet, no spare sky to which we can escape if we ruin this one." The warning is therefore gentle, but its implication is firm. It asks us to care for this place. It implores us to be better stewards of the thin, precious layer of air that sustains us and the waters that give us life. It urges us to care for one another, recognizing that we are all crewmates on this tiny vessel. The image powerfully suggests the folly of our conflicts. Why do we fight so fiercely over an invisible line on a map? Why do we burn our collective future for the sake of temporary advantage or ancient grievances? From the perspective of Voyager 1, cruising billions of kilometers away, there are no lines. Section 5. 6. Between the stars. After taking its final photograph, Voyager 1 continued its inexorable journey outward.
It eventually crossed a boundary known as the heliopause, the point where the solar wind, the stream of charged particles flowing from our sun, finally gives way to the interstellar medium. It moved from the sun's sphere of influence into the vast open space between the stars. This region is not a perfect vacuum. It is not entirely empty. It is filled with a thin, tenuous plasma, a soup of gas dust left over from ancient stellar explosions. It is bathed in cosmic rays, high-energy particles that can damage electronic systems. In this new environment, Voyager 1 can hear a strange and persistent sound. Its plasma wave instrument detects vibrations in the interstellar gas, a low, steady hum, like a distant rumbling storm. The spacecraft is still a scientist, still an explorer. It sends the sound of this interstellar hum back to us, a postcard from an alien shore. It is an elder statesman now, a venerable pioneer, still doing its work after more than 4 decades in the cold and dark. Section 6.5. The Wisdom of Scale. The most profound lesson of the pale blue dot is its illustration of scale. Here on Earth, we build big. We construct towering skyscrapers that pierce the clouds. We engineer massive bridges that span wide rivers. We make grand plans for our economies and our societies. We often feel that our works are permanent and that our concerns are of paramount importance, but the dot, that single pixel of light, gently refutes this notion. It says with quiet authority, "Be humble." The stars are so numerous they defy counting. The darkness between them is so wide it strains the imagination. Our world is but a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. This perspective is not intended to make you feel small or insignificant in a negative way. It is not meant to induce sadness or a sense of futility. On the contrary, it is meant to make you wise. When we truly understand our scale, when we see ourselves in this grand context, we are empowered to choose our actions more carefully. We can choose to create less noise. Section 7.4. Storms, within and without. There are risks that we face as a species, challenges to our continued existence on this pale blue dot. Some of these risks come from space itself. A large asteroid or comet could one day cross our orbital path, an event that has happened before in Earth's history with devastating consequences. Our sun can also be violent. A powerful solar flare could erupt, send a wave of charged particles towards us, potentially crippling our power grids and communication satellites. Above our heads, a growing cloud of space debris, the junk we have left in orbit, poses a threat to future spaceflight. Fortunately, we are not helpless in the face of these external threats. However, the most immediate and pressing risks we face do not come from the void, they come from us. The thick blanket of smoke and greenhouse gases we pour into our atmosphere, the relentless tide of plastic and chemical waste that chokes our oceans, the steady, inexorable rise in global temperatures that disrupts weather patterns and threatens ecosystems. These are not storms from deep space. These are our own storms, born of our own choices and habits. The good news is that because these storms are of our own making, we also have the power to calm them. The warning of the pale blue dot asks us if we have the wisdom and the courage to save ourselves from ourselves. Section 8.3. The quiet work of care. So, presented with this gentle warning and this cosmic perspective, what can we do? The scale of the challenge can feel overwhelming, but the answer begins with small, deliberate actions. Start small. Use less energy, fewer resources. Share more of what you have. Take the time to learn about the science of our planet's systems. Teach what you learn to others, especially to children. In a democracy, you can vote for leaders and policies that prioritize the long-term health of our world. You can support the clear, verifiable facts presented by the scientific community. We can work to preserve the world's natural wonders. We can keep the night sky dark in our communities, free from light pollution, so that we and our children can still look up and see the stars connecting us to that vastness from which Voyager's message came. We can work to keep our rivers and lakes clean so that life can thrive within them. You can plant a tree and guard it as it grows, a simple act of faith in the future. Most importantly, we can be kind to the person next to us. Kindness is not a trivial sentiment, it is a powerful, practical force. Kindness scales. Listen again to that faint voice from the distance. It says, "You are small, but you are precious. Look after your home, look after each other. Let us be worthy of it. Let us work together to keep it bright."